have to talk about Avantis. Avantis did exactly what we were talking about yesterday. And we got to talk about what Avantis is about to do now. Anyways, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this financial advice. Let's get straight into it. So, as you can see, it's down 6.6 in the last 24 hours. Avantis is also down 10% in the last hour alone, and then 40% in the last 7 days. Priced currently at 333 million market cap. Remember what I said yesterday? A lot of these base coins sit around 300 million market cap after they've had their initial pump, anywhere from like 150 million to 300 million. So usually it's around those areas. The trading volume's at 725 million. But let's talk about what happened here, because as you can see, Avantis pulled back to the support that we're talking about at 120, not 100, $1.28. So that is where Avantis pulled back, and we were talking about that all yesterday. So this is pretty good that it's going as planned, right? So one thing you have to pay attention to is what's going on here on the MACD. So the MACD is definitely oversold. But look, the second one green candlestick started to try to come in, you start to see selling came right back in. And the MACD tried to cross, so then it could go back up, right? And that's usually what happens at the bottom of the MACD. But it crossed and it immediately kept going back down. So that is definitely a bearish signal here. And then if you look at the MACD on the 2-hour chart, you can see that some buying came in, but it was not enough buying to actually make this thing go. So you've seen that immediate pullback from there. So this is a pretty big pullback now. And so if we are to also look at the percent R trend exhaustion on the 2-hour chart, notice that the trend is oversold and overexhausted to the downside. But notice how the long-term trend is now shooting straight downwards, as well as the short-term trend. So this is really an indication that we could be going down a bit lower with Avantis. So this is very important area here. I believe the next area, like I mentioned yesterday, after $1.28, if it can't revive from here and recover and do a reversal, we will see the next Fibonacci support at $1.05. So around $1, we will be at 258 million market cap. And around $1.05, it'll be a little bit above it, probably 265 million, somewhere around there. So it does look like Avantis is currently on that pullback still. You can see the trading volume, it increased a little bit from yesterday, but it was mainly selling volume. It was at 300 million yesterday, the trading volume. Well, actually, it was around 500 million. But yeah, it's now back up at 725 million. But that's only because it was all selling volume. We need buying volume, but right now we're seeing mainly selling volume. So when you then come and look at the hourly chart, still it's oversold. We have been oversold down here on Avantis for a long time. As you can see, the long-term trend, which is the blue line, has been here oversold since about the 25th. And you can see the blue line, the long-term trend, has stayed downward. So it stayed oversold for a while. And then the short-term trend is this white line. But you can notice the short-term trend is actively coming down right now, and the long-term trend is still actively down. So still bearish. And then when we pull up the MACD, we see that the buying volume was short-lived, and now we're starting to see more selling volume coming in. So I think that we have some more ways to go downwards here inside of Avantis. And then when we bring up the 30-minute chart, even more selling pressure on the MACD. We're seeing it in real time. We're seeing that selling volume coming in pretty strongly here. And you can also see now it has broken the support officially. And now you can kind of see another red candlestick kind of forming up here, which is an indication that we're about to go down to $1.04. So that is the next target price here for Avantis. You can see the percent R trend exhaustion is actively selling off as well. So we gotta wait for that. This was definitely going to happen eventually. I was saying that we are literally overhyped with Avantis. Avantis was way overhyped, not way overhyped, but it was just overbought, and it was going off of pure hype. So it wasn't overhyped, but it was overbought and moving off of pure hype. And I mentioned that, and yeah, and that's exactly what we're seeing now. We're seeing that pullback because again, pure hype. There was some strength backing it, with the money inside the perpetuals and the futures. So a lot of money was backing Avantis, but the second that money started to slow down and dry up, what happened? Avantis started selling off. So the 15-minute chart, you can also see selling pressure here as well. And then if we come over here, we can see the same thing. We're definitely oversold on the 15-minute here. So eventually we could see a recovery. Remember, it can stay oversold for longer than you expect. So there is a possibility that it can stay oversold for a bit. So definitely be careful. But yeah, $1.04 is coming next inside Avantis. Get ready, be prepared. This thing has been pulling back pretty hard, so you definitely want to stay prepared for that. But yeah, this is all I got for you all today. I'll keep you all updated. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. And as always, I'll be back with another video.